This building in Palmdale, California has produced some of the most advanced aircraft in history: the U-2 spy plane, the SR-71 Blackbird, the F-117 stealth fighter, the B-2 bomber, aircraft that were technically impossible until they weren't. It's called Skunk Works. It's officially a division of Lockheed Martin. And in 2023, a former U.S. intelligence official testified under oath before Congress that this facility, or a program connected to it, is involved in something that makes the SR-71 look like a propeller plane. His name was David Grusch, and what he described, if accurate, is the most significant black program in American history. Grusch was not a random whistleblower. He was the National Reconnaissance Office's representative to the UAP Task Force, the classified government body tasked with investigating unidentified aerial phenomena. He held a top-secret SCI security clearance. When he testified before Congress in 2023, he made a series of specific verifiable claims, not vague allegations, but claims with name entities and documented paper trails that congressional investigators could follow. Among those claims, 1. The United States government has in its possession craft of non-human origin. 2. These craft are not held by the government directly. They are held and studied by private defense contractors under contracts that place the work outside normal congressional oversight. 3. The funding for these programs flows through a mechanism that bypasses standard congressional appropriations, meaning Congress members on oversight committees cannot follow the money even if they know to look. 4. The contractors involved have committed federal crimes, specifically obstruction and unauthorized retention of classified materials, to prevent disclosure. He named Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works division as one of the contractors. Lockheed Martin had revenues of approximately $67 billion in 2023. Their government contracts represent the majority of that revenue. They have significant leverage over the agencies that would investigate them. They declined to comment on Grusch's testimony. To understand why Skunk Works is a credible candidate for this kind of program, you need to understand what it actually is. Skunk Works was founded in 1943 by Clarence Kelly Johnson. Its founding charter was to develop aircraft faster, more secretly, and with fewer bureaucratic constraints than the regular defense procurement process allowed. It operated then, and operates now, under a set of principles called Kelly's Rules. Among them, minimal reporting requirements, small teams with maximum authority, and the ability to operate outside normal Pentagon procurement channels. The U-2 was developed in 18 months. It was flying over the Soviet Union for 4 years before the public knew it existed. The SR-71 was developed and operational for 6 years before its public acknowledgement. When it was finally revealed, it had already been replaced by classified successors that we still don't have full information on. The F-117 stealth fighter flew operationally from 1983 to 2008. 5 years of covert operational deployment before its public revelation. The B-2 stealth bomber was in development for 12 years before anyone outside the program knew what it looked like. The pattern, Skunk Works builds things that operate in secret for years to decades before acknowledgement, and the acknowledged programs are, by definition, the ones where the secrecy no longer serves a purpose. Grusch's claim is that there is a program that has never reached that threshold. Here's the mechanism Grusch described, and here's why it's resistant to normal oversight. Special Access Programs, or SAPs, are classified programs that operate with restricted access even within the classified world. A top-secret clearance doesn't give you access to a SAP. You need specific program-specific authorization. Congressional oversight committees don't automatically have access to SAPs. They can request access, they can be denied, and in documented cases, they have been denied, with the denial upheld on national security grounds. The Senate Intelligence Committee, the body with the most oversight authority over the intelligence community, has been denied access to specific SAPs in documented on-record cases. The funding mechanism Grusch described is called a reprogramming, shifting funds between budget lines in ways that are technically legal but obscure the actual purpose from congressional appropriators who aren't read into the relevant programs. This is not unusual. Reprogramming is a routine budget mechanism. What makes Grusch's claim significant is the scale he implied. a multi-decade program involving recovered materials, reverse engineering, and potentially non-human biologics, funded through mechanisms that even senior oversight members can't trace. But here's what makes this claim verifiable in principle. Christopher Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, has independently corroborated the general claim that UAP programs exist outside normal oversight channels. He stated in an on-record interview that he specifically tried to find the UAP program within the Pentagon's official structure and could not locate it. He wasn't denied access. He couldn't find the budget line. Luis Elizondo, who ran AATIP, has said the same thing. The programs he was aware of appeared to route through unofficial channels in ways he couldn't fully account for. 3 people, Grusch, Mellon, Elizondo, with direct government experience, describing the same structural feature independently. Here's the question this raises. If a private contractor is in possession of materials or craft of non-human origin, under a contract that places the work outside government oversight, what legal mechanism exists to compel disclosure? The UAP Disclosure Act tried to answer this. It created a review board with authority over contractor-held materials and established whistleblower protections for people working in private sector UAP programs. The review board hasn't been seated. The Trump executive order on UAP disclosure was directed at federal agencies, not at private contractors, which means even if the executive order is fully implemented, it may not compel the release of the materials that would be most significant, because those materials may be held not by the government, but by a defense contractor in a facility in Palmdale, California. A facility that has a history, a documented, acknowledged history, of building things that were technically impossible until they weren't. We don't know what's in that facility right now. We know that someone who was read into the classified programs and testified under oath believes it includes something that would change everything. We're going to keep tracking what comes out of the disclosure process, and specifically whether the review board gets seated and whether its authority extends to contractor-held materials. Subscribe. This is the story that's actively moving right now. What's your read on Grusch? Credible witness or controlled opposition? Comments below. Channel.